Welcome to Sleep Story. Let the soothing cadence of a story weave through your consciousness, lulling your body to rest and your mind to tranquility as you drift into dreams on the wings of imagination.
In the distant northern forest, the bitter cold wind whistling past, blowing the branches of the trees shivering, emitting a whimpering sound, seems to be talking about the winter cold. White snow as a thick quilt, covering the earth, occasionally a few rabbits jumping in the snow, leaving a string of broken footprints. This forest in the weekdays is permeated with a few points of loneliness, and for the star without family, this loneliness is even deeper into the bone marrow. Stars seemed to be sprinkled with starlight, and under the white snow, it shone with a dreamy luster. However, underneath this beautiful appearance lies a lonely heart. It is always alone in the forest wandering. Whenever it sees other animal family in the forest play, or in the cave snuggle warm, the heart will be full of loneliness and loss. Often in the quiet of the night, lying alone in the tree cave, looking at the sky full of stars, thinking, how I wish I could have a warm home, can have a friend by my side. Why am I alone in this vast starry sky? The cold hole in the tree, like a huge black hole, kept devouring its soul, making it feel more and more helpless in the darkness. As Christmas drew near, the forest was filled with joy. Squirrels in the branches of the tree busy shuttle, like a group of agile acrobats, their big fluffy tail behind like a small umbrella swing, cleverly maintain the balance of the body. Their big fluffy tails swing behind them, pull umbrellas, skillfully maintaining their balance. Their small, delicate paws move quickly among the branches like lightning, picking out the full pine cones with precision. A brown squirrel stood at the top of the tree, its eyes glaring round, as if it were a rigorous conductor, pulling its shrill voice and loudly commanding the other partners, this side of the pine cones, to hang a little bit higher. Yes, yes, the colored lights should be staggered, just like the twinkling stars in the night sky, so that it looks good. Its voice was clear and loud, echoing in the woods, as if it was blowing the horn for Christmas decorations. Some squirrels use their teeth to tightly bite the end of the ribbon, small paws skillfully winding the colorful ribbon tied to the pine cone, the concentrated look of if in the carving of a rare treasure. Some squirrels carefully hang the twinkling lights on the end of the tree branches. Every hanger good will tilt his head to look at the left and the right, like a picky artist in the examination of their own works. To ensure that the position is just right, they work together to dress up a pine tree as a sparkling Christmas tree. Each one is like a lighthouse in the forest, emitting festive light, illuminating the entire forest, but also ignited the forest's Christmas enthusiasm. At this time the forest, as if by magic, from the lonely winter months, into a fairy tale world full of hope and joy, while the star can only watch from the edge of this world. Its heart is full of the desire to fit in, but is bound by low self-esteem and fear of rejection. It knows that loneliness is not scary, but losing the courage to embrace warmth, just as wandering in the darkness for too long will gradually forget the appearance of light. But Star also understands that as long as there is still a glimmer of hope in its heart, it is possible to burn out the gloom of loneliness and usher in the dawn of its own. The rabbits, on the other hand, sat around the entrance of the cave, their furry paws skillfully weaving a garland of flowers, as if they were a group of skillful craftsmen. Their long ears turned from time to time, like sensitive radar, listening to the surrounding movements, and their eyes glittered with excitement, just like the twinkling stars in the night sky. An older rabbit sits in the center, its paws flipping up and down as fast as a phantom, as if it were performing a wonderful magic trick. As he knitted, He told the little rabbits around him the story of Christmas. Legend has it that during this wonderful holiday, magical things will happen. Father Christmas rides in a reindeer-drawn sleigh and brings presents to all the little animals. The little rabbits listened with great interest, their eyes wide open like two crystal-clear black jewels, full of curiosity and anticipation. They put the collected flowers, leaves and berries together cleverly. A little rabbit picked up a delicate red flower, gently to the tip of the nose and sniffed, the intoxicated look as if the flower is the world's most fascinating perfume, and then placed it in the center of the wreath, like a ruby to the wreath inlaid with a ruby. The other bunny picked out a few uniquely shaped leaves and inserted them around the flowers like a careful designer. Each wreath is full of festive anticipation and demonstrates the rabbit family's dexterity, as if it were their Christmas gift to the forest. The snowy ground around the rabbits' holes was infected by their laughter and busy figures, and seemed to be less cold. When Star passed by, her footsteps unconsciously slowed down, and she enviously watched the interaction of the rabbits, and a sourness welled up in her heart. How she wished that she could be a part of it, and feel the warmth and joy of that family. Sometimes we feel small and lonely in front of other people's happiness, but this is exactly the opportunity for us to look inside and pursue happiness. The star begins to realize in this moment that although it is temporarily in solitude, if it takes the first step bravely, it may be able to start a brand new journey and reap the benefits of unexpected beauty. The birds stand on their branches, singing Christmas carols with joy. The song of the paintbrush is like a gurgling mountain stream, gently rippling in the air. The oriole's clear voice is like a string of silver bells ringing in the wind. Its clear and pleasant sound is so penetrating that it seems to be able to break through the clouds. And the woodpecker pecks rhythmically at the trunk of the tree with its hard beak. And the sound of the duck 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 seems to be a special drumbeat for the music, which is a perfect fusion of the other birds' songs. Their feathers shine with brilliant colors in the sunlight. Some are red like fire, like burning flames against the backdrop of the snow. Some are blue like deep jewels, mysterious and fascinating. Some are as yellow as a brilliant golden chrysanthemum, bright and warm, singing one after another, intertwined into a wonderful music, the crisp and pleasant singing in the cold winter air echo, as if for the whole forest put on a layer of warm veil, so that every corner is immersed in the festive atmosphere. Even the snowflakes seem to dance in the song. The star stood under the tree, looking up at the singing birds. It felt like a forgotten leaf in the corner, out of place with this joyful scene. It longed to be able to sing as freely as the birds, enjoying the joy of the festival, but its throat seemed to be choked by something, and it could only lower its head silently, continuing to wander in solitude. However, the star did not give up hope. It knows life is like the change of seasons. Winter is cold, but will always pass. As long as we insist on waiting, the warmth and vitality of spring will come. In the lonely moment, we have to believe in their own inner strength, as in the darkness of the lighthouse, will one day be able to lead us to the other side of the light. Star looked at all this, both envious and sad. It does not know how it should spend this holiday belonging to the reunion. Its heart is full of contradictions, both eager to integrate into this joyful atmosphere, but also afraid of being rejected by the other animals. It can only silently wander around the edge of the forest, a hint of sadness in its eyes, and its footsteps also seem particularly heavy and hesitant. Its hooves gently stepped on the snow, emitting a slight creaking sound, as if it was its lonely sigh. Each step seemed to be telling the loneliness and longing of the heart. The deep and shallow hoofprints, printed on the white snow, like its inner scars, clear and cannot be erased. One day, Star found a huge old Christmas tree deep in the forest. The tree towered over the clouds, and its branches were covered with glittering ice crystals, like a dreamy crystal castle. Under the tree there was a small cabin with soft lights and a sweet smell. Shinga curiously approached the cabin and looked in through the window, only to see a white-haired Father Christmas was busy making all kinds of gifts. His kind face looked particularly amiable under the candlelight, and the tools in his hands kept dancing, turning a piece of wood, a piece of satin and a jewel into exquisite toys, gorgeous costumes and sparkling jewelry. Wooden shavings fluttered around him, group of cheerful elves, and his focused eyes seemed to give life to these items, each movement filled with the love and anticipation of Christmas. The snow around the cabin seemed to be melted by the warmth of the house, forming a circle of crystal water droplets that shimmered in the sunlight, a light that seemed to beckon to the star, giving it a glimmer of hope and courage. Sometimes, fate will inadvertently open a door for us. The key lies in whether we have the courage to push it open. The star is now standing in front of this door of hope. It faces a choice, and this choice may change its life. Father Christmas seemed to notice the star's gaze. He opened the door, smiled and said to the star, "Little one, why are you here alone? Come on in." The star child was a little hesitant. Its heart was thumping like a small rabbit in its pocket. On the one hand, it was curious about this strange place and Father Christmas. On the other hand, it was worried that it might encounter danger. But in the end, the desire for warmth overcame the fear, and it slowly walked into the cabin. It was as warm as spring in the cabin, with a roaring fire, the flames jumping happily, reflecting the various decorations hanging on the walls and the beautiful gifts piled up in the corners. Those gifts were colorfully wrapped, some tied with big bows, as if waving warmly to people. Some of them were covered with beautiful stickers with cute little animals and beautiful snowflake patterns, each of which exuded a mysterious aura, as if telling a Christmas story. The hot air that filled the room was like a pair of gentle hands, gently caressing the body of the star and warming its cold heart. When we bravely take that step to embrace the warmth of the unknown, we often realize that the fear we once had was nothing more than a phantom within ourselves. The star in this moment deeply appreciate, only dare to try, can break the shackles of loneliness to meet a new life. Sontar gently stroked Starry's head and said, "Starry, I know you don't have a family, so you'll spend this Christmas with me. I need your help to deliver these gifts to every corner of the forest, so that everyone can feel the joy of Christmas." Star's eyes lit up, and it nodded vigorously, its heart filled with joy and anticipation. It thought to itself, "This may be my chance to change my lonely fate. I must make the most of it. Maybe from now on and truly integrate into this forest family." At this moment, the gloom in the heart of the star seems to be illuminated by a light, which is full of hope for the future, and it feels like a boat drifting in the darkness for a long time, finally found the harbor. Opportunities in life are often hidden in the midst of difficulties. As long as we keep a keen insight and a positive mindset, we can discover these hidden treasures, thus changing our destiny and heading towards a path full of hope and happiness. From then on, Star followed Father Christmas through the forest every day. It ran merrily through the snow with a sack full of presents on its back. The bag was heavy, but the star felt relaxed because it had a sense of mission in its heart. When it delivered the gifts to the squirrels jumped up and down with excitement, their big fluffy tails wagging in the air as if they were celebrating a great festival. Chattering, they said, "Starry, you're such an angel. Here are the nuts we prepared especially for you. They are delicious." With that, she shoved a large handful of nuts into Starlight's mouth. Star chewed on the delicious nuts, feeling the rich flavor spread in their mouth. The crunchy texture of the nuts intoxicated it. "The heart is sweet," it secretly thought. The original has a friend is such a good thing. I missed too much before. This small nut, but full of their acceptance and love for me, like the warm sun in winter, warmed my heart. Star's silhouette traveled through the woods. Its steps became brisk and strong. Each step felt like it was building a deeper connection with this forest. It was no longer the lonely bystander, but became a bearer of joy. In the process of giving, we gain not only the gratitude of others, but also inner satisfaction and growth. By helping Father Christmas deliver gifts, Star not only wins the love of her friends, but also finds the value and meaning of her existence, which makes her understand that loneliness is just an episode of life, while loving and being loved is the main theme of life. When they met the little bunnies, they hopped round, and one of them put the prettiest wreath he had knitted on Star's horns, and said, "Star, you're the loveliest Christmas messenger we've ever seen, and this wreath goes very well with you." The other bunnies nodded their heads as well, their little red faces overflowing with enthusiasm, like ripe red apples. Pulling on Star's leg and inviting him to play hopscotch with them, Shinga hopped carefully. Afraid of stepping on the ground carefully laid out by the bunnies, its hooves gently lifted up and slowly fell down. Each step was full of caution, as if under its feet was a piece of sacred territory. Its heart was full of emotion. I am no longer the neglected loner. I am now everyone's friend too. Every jump is like an intimate interaction between me and my friendship, making me feel happier than I have ever felt before. Star's laughter with the bunnies echoed over the snow, and the snow that had once made it feel cold and unfamiliar was now a stage for fun with his friends, as he relished this hard-won friendship. True friendship can transcend loneliness and barriers, and as long as we open our hearts, we can accept the kindness of others and reap the benefits of precious friendship. Star's experience tells us not to close ourselves off because of the loneliness we once felt, but to embrace others bravely, so that we can open up a beautiful relationship and make life more colorful. When Shinga came to the bird's habitat, the birds stopped singing and flew down to its back and shoulders. Their small claws gently scratched Star's fur, but they didn't feel any pain at all. Instead, they had an itchy, warm feeling, like a breeze gently brushing by. A tiny robin said, "Starling, you have brought us so much joy. We are going to sing a special song for you." So the birds unfurled their clear singing voices and sang a mellifluous Christmas hymn for the star. The song was melodious and ethereal, as if it were fairy music floating down from the sky. The star stood there quietly, with its ears slightly erected, like to small peaks, immersed in this wonderful song, and it had never felt so happy. It silently sighed in its heart, "This Christmas, I have gained so much love and warmth that I never dared to imagine before. This song is like a salute to my new life, allowing me to bid farewell to my lonely past once and for all." Star stood there, eyes closed, feeling the bird's songs flowing through his heart. It was as if he saw his future life, full of friendship, laughter and endless warmth, and he knew that he was no longer that lonely little deer. Music has the power to heal the soul. It can dispel the gloom of loneliness and evoke the hope and joy deep inside. The star feels this power in the bird's songs, and it also makes us realize that in life, whether it is music, art or the beauty of nature, it can be the solace of our soul, helping us to get out of the woods and embrace a better life. In the process, Star not only feels the joy of giving, but also gains many new friends. It is no longer the lonely deer, but has become the little Christmas messenger in the forest, bringing joy and warmth to everyone. Its figure traveled through the forest as if it were a flowing starlight, and everywhere it went was filled with laughter. Its hoof prints are left on the snow, like a unique mark for its journey, which also witnesses its journey from loneliness to happiness. Those hoof prints are no longer a symbol of loneliness, but a link between him and his friends, connecting him with the wonderful memories of this Christmas. Every experience of loneliness is a sharpening of growth, which makes us treasure hard-won warmth and happiness even more. Star's story inspires us not to give up the pursuit of warmth and friendship no matter how hard life is, because the darkest moment is often the prelude to the coming light. With the arrival of Christmas, Star and Father Christmas have finally finished delivering all the gifts. They sat under the old Christmas tree, surrounded by a world of silver, but their hearts were filled with warmth. They watched the animals in the forest revel in the joy of the festive season, the children chasing and playing in the snow, while the adults sat around sharing food and stories with delighted smiles on their faces. The squirrels were sharing the toys they had received with each other in the trees, discussing the novelty of the toys. The rabbits danced happily with their new wreaths, their steps light and joyful, as if they were dancing a Christmas round dance. Birds in the branches to sort out their new feathers, and now and then also quoted a few songs, seems to add a few more points of joy for this wonderful holiday. At this time the forest, full of vitality and vitality. Every corner is filled with a strong festive atmosphere. The star sat there, looking at all this. The heart is full of satisfaction and happiness. It knows he has found his own home. Home is not just a place to live, but also a place for the soul. The star in this Christmas found its spiritual home, which tells us, no matter where we come from, no matter how lonely we were, as long as we with a kind, brave heart to pursue, we can find their own that warm home, the place where our soul can be put to rest. Sontar said to Starlight, "Starlight, you are a kind and brave little dear. This Christmas is better because of you. From now on, you are no longer alone. Every animal in the forest is your family." Tears glistened in Starlight's eyes, and it knew that this Christmas would be the most unforgettable memory in its life. Its heart was filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Father Christmas. Thank you, my friends, for making me feel at home. This friendship will always be in my heart, like the trees in this forest, taking root and growing forever." Star's tears dripped down on the snow, forming a crystallized bead, which were like its farewell to the lonely life in the past and its hope for a happy life in the future. In the journey of life, we will meet many people who help us. They are like Father Christmas and Star's friends, giving us warmth, love and support. We have to learn to be grateful and cherish these friendships, because they are the most precious treasure in our life, which can make us full of strength and go forward when facing difficulties. From then on, Star became the star of the forest. It always wore a warm smile and spent every beautiful day with its friends. And every Christmas, it would embark on a gift delivery journey with Father Christmas again, spreading love and warmth to every corner of the forest. Its story has also spread in the forest, becoming a beautiful legend that every animal uses to keep warm on cold winter nights, inspiring more animals to pass on love and friendliness, so that this forest is always full of vitality and warmth, as if it were a Christmas paradise that never fades. The figure of the star has become a bright landscape in the forest. It uses its own experience to tell every animal, even if it was once lonely, as long as the heart of hope will always find their own warmth and happiness, just like the winter sunshine will always penetrate the clouds, sprinkled in every desire for warmth of the heart. Beyond this forest, Star's story is also like a seed, floating with the wind to a wider world.